No, because we'll have to back out once we start recording, right?
Only if you want to see the.
Oh, the chat room will stay live though.
Chat room's live all the time.
Yeah,
Sweet.
you should get your notification that we just went live. We're on a 10-second delay, 60 frames per second. We're only using 11% of my computer to stream. So
better be a consistent 60 frames, or I'm quitting.
It's a consistent 60. We're over 3,100 kilobits per
I'm
second.
actually, I'm gonna sue for breach of contract or fucking false advertising, whatever.
Yeah, because you just said it was 60.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So if it's not 60, lawsuit.
No, it's probably good.
I'm gonna sue you for all your. I'm gonna sue you for all your nothing.
I don't wanna sue. I have to sue.
But I will. I don't want to take you to court, but I'm not above.
So is written. So it shall come to pass. Quote the Raven, evermore.
All right.
Never happened. You guys nervous?
No.
I took Nicole asked me. She's like, "Oh, so this is your first live one? You guys are doing a live tonight?" I'm like, yeah. You nervous? I'm like, no. Why?
200 episodes.
Because it's live. I'm like, we're not doing anything different.
It's not live.
It's live.
Like I still only see YouTube videos.
Well, it's not like the Academy Awards. No. But yeah, I'm still not nervous.
Should we be nervous? I can work up some nervous energy.
But you know, if I throw up right before,
Dude, you should. You should throw up right before we start.
Just go gag yourself till you throw up. That'll be fine.
Yeah, that would actually. I think that would get us off right.
Yeah.
If you just started with a puke.
welcome to episode. Just like that.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
It seems fine now.
Is that how you sound when you throw up?
I go.
It's just a one hit for me. Just a. I couldn't do this.
Mine's like this.
No, not me. I got to work up to a good vomit.
Mine's bad.
I don't have to work up to it when it's ready.
Yeah.
Not me, because I get it. It's like a fuel filter on the piece, so I get time. So it all comes out.
Alright, we're at 1:30.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Just remember when to do the intro. Don't forget.
Yeah, don't put your thumb up first. Thumb up means talk.
Yeah. It's like
Here's
this.
what I'll tell you. It doesn't start till I do the intro.
If you miss the post on the music, you're going to be sad.
I'm not going to be anything. Don't tell me how to be.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
I live my life.
I'm a little bit nervous about. I'm nervous about doing the switch from YouTube over to the music. There's going to be a delay.
Nintendo Switch.
So I have to like stop YouTube, turn the music on, switch the video.
Did you say stop hammer time?
All right, we are inside a minute.
Deep inside.
Black Gray.
Alex
I don't have
Trebek is yelling at this girl about liking nerdcore hip hop now.
I don't have the chat running.
People who identify as nerdy,
Oh, I have it.
about the things they love,
You too
video games,
nervous?
science fiction,
No, I can't get it to
having a
go.
hard time meeting romantic partners, you know. It's really catchy and fun.
Phone's being a jerk. I can't get comfortable either.
Well,
Hope your internet didn't blow up.
sure.
Yeah, don't move around so much. Start pulling cords out.
I can't look at the screen. My
Even
iPad
the
has a
babies are
microphone.
one of the most dangerous animals in the world, so I built this
All right,
cage
here
to
we
keep
go,
them
guys.
secure, so there's no possible. Oh my God! WrestleMania 3 at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. It's a day that I'm certain my guest at this time will not forget. I'm talking about the former Intercontinental Champion of the world, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Welcome to episode 200 of the official Gamestitch podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Walton, alongside Dan Reamer,
Boom.
Matt Bowden, and we are
Thank
live.
you for having me.
That's right. We're live. We have determined it works. We're out.
That's it. It's the world's shortest podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
We just had a
Dunzo,
point
thanks
to
for
prove.
showing up.
It was more of a proof of concept.
Right.
Yeah.
We nailed it.
Twitch.tv/Gamestitch. Obviously, it won't do you any good if you're listening to this after. But maybe we'll do some more of these in the future.
Yeah.
See what I did there? A little past, little present.
You did.
Yeah, I
Just
got
kind of getting in the moment.
You're all about the time swaps and making things crazy.
We did just fall back.
We did.
That shit
Which is
doesn't piss
dumb.
me off.
I'll tell you, I was up. We were playing Rocket League. And there's something special about watching it click over to 2 o'clock and then immediately jump back to 1 o'clock. I felt obligated to play for an entire another hour. Yep.
Well, that's because, I mean, when I was younger, I used to love the fallback because I'd be out at the bar on a Saturday night. So,
Another hour of drinking.
exactly.
The fallback is my homie. The spring forward is a real son of a bitch.
Yep, that's the one that kicks you right in the dick.
Yeah. Why do we still even do it? Does it matter?
No,
No.
it was originally done for
Oh, I know.
farmers.
I know this story.
You know the story.
Can we just spring forward and then stop, though?
Yeah, that's what we should do. There are places that do it that way already. Arizona and Indiana. Is that right?
That's the problem right there. The two
Sure.
states that decided to go ahead and start doing it are those two.
Right, we
Right.
need a bigger
Good.
leader. Tennessee tried to
Lot
vote
of-
it in last year.
A lot of
Yeah.
farming in Arizona, I might add.
Here's the thing. I know some farmers. They
Uh-huh.
work sun up, sun down. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Right.
So we don't need to change the time for them. They got it.
Right, they'll just get up when it's time to get up, whether it's light or
they'll-
dark.
Right. And they'll stop when it's time to stop.
Right,
They'll need a watch to tell them when they're done.
right. I see them working in the dark in the morning and at night. They don't give a shit.
Now they have headlights on the tractor, so I don't see what the big fucking deal is.
Right.
Yeah.
With the advent of electricity, it seems like savings time is out the window.
Yeah, all it does
I
is
mean-
piss me off.
Yeah, because now I'm going home and going to work when it's dark outside, I feel like.
Yeah.
Not the when I'm going in, but in my mind it's like that.
Yeah. What really
When I wanna
pisses
be-
me off is we just moved across the time zone from Central to Eastern. So I just got acclimated to being an hour ahead of where I was. And then I wake up this morning and I feel like I'm back in Central. Like I feel like it's normal again. So when it springs forward from here, I'm going to be really pissed. I can't stand this stuff. It's easily the most worthless thing that anybody has ever invented.
I don't like you being on a different time zone because now you and Dan are synced
Now
up.
you're the odd guy
Oh,
out. Yeah.
Right. And I don't care
It
for
bothers
it.
you? It bothers you? You'll be okay.
Well, I'm on Central Standard Time. The only time that matters.
Uh-huh.
Is it?
Central.
Because it's
I do
yours, I
prefer
understand.
Central. No,
Yeah, there you go.
Central's the bread and butter, the backbone of this country.
Right. I'll tell you what keeps America running is the Central Standard Time Zone.
Uh-huh.
It is. But, you know,
It's a
we
big
get
deal.
New Year's first here, and I guess that's
We get
really
everything
it.
here first. We get to really watch Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that's true.
It's overrated. It's overrated.
Yeah. We also have to watch wrestling at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon instead of at 8 like normal if they're if they're on the West Coast. So that sucks.
I can live with that.
Yeah, but it's so late. Like when you finish watching whatever it is, it's so late there.
That part does kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like all the shows I like come on at 9 o'clock here, but it was 8 o'clock when I lived in the Central Times. And here's the weird thing about it. Here's what really blows my mind is, okay, the reason for, like, in the Eastern time, everything runs off the Eastern time zone for whatever reason. So that's why that 9 o'clock time is like the after family time, you know?
Yeah.
It's like after the kids are to bed, that's when you can put the stuff that's a little more risque on or has a little bit more violence or things like that. But why does it matter if you put it on at 8 o'clock at Central Time? Especially considering that holds a number of our more religious states. So you'd think that you might want to move that over so that the kids are in bed at that point.
Well, we
Here's
need
my
something to
question.
talk about, though, and to be upset about.
I'm more
fair.
confused as to why, with it being recorded and played television, why it can't all just come on at the same time. Like, if it comes on at 7 in the Eastern time zone, why can't it come on at 7 in the Central time zone, and so on and so forth?
Sounds like you're a supporter of the dark arts, too. The magic,
Like,
the voodoo.
I mean, it seems like each time zone would have their own switcheroony, you know?
No, it's not how it works.
Well, it should
They
be
have to
how
come
it
on a
works.
different time so that it's confusing for everyone.
Right.
That's the only way it can and will work. Because if it all just came on at the same time, there'd be no benefit to living where you live.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
I guess.
Like you can watch it, like digest it, have a conversation about it, and go to bed. And West Coast hasn't even seen it yet.
Yeah, it's still daylight on the West Coast.
Right.
Still,
They're
like,
still
it's
at work.
I mean, they're still at work. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They're still working.
Yeah, they're just now getting into traffic, man.
Now, I feel like I need to disclose some information before we start.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
It's about Dan.
go for it.
He bought a Division USB
Keychain.
flash drive keychain today.
Right, I saw this group text, but I think I commented just dots on it.
You did. If
that's
you
how
were
I feel
standing
about it
next to me,
still.
I'd have punched you right in the throat.
Here's the thing. I get excited for dumb things also. But this is odd.
It's
What are you gonna do with
useless.
It's on my fucking keychain, man.
Will it
It's
even
a
fit
fucking
into anything
keychain.
that
I
takes
put it
a
on there.
thumb drive? It's
Yeah,
like
but
it's
not
round,
just
like
a thumb drive. Right, it's the size of an apple.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's like the size of a,
Hold it
it's a
up,
little
let's
bigger
see
than
it.
$50 an apple.
Stick it.
It's no
Hold
half
it up.
dollar. This thing, yeah.
It's not the
Carries
size.
$50.
What?
Nobody carries $50. That's we phased them out because they were too big.
It's the
Okay.
size of a mini disc, a UMD at least.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
That's too
Hold
big
it
to
up.
go in your pocket.
It's not. It's awesome. Fuck you.
It's a shelf
Hold it
item.
It's on my keychain right there where it fucking belongs. So and it says the division on it, so everybody knows. When they ask
Was
what's
it-
that, I'm gonna be like the best game you ever fucking play.
The one
Wow.
thing keeping me from being a grown up.
Hey, what if you put a bunch of videos of yourself playing on there, so when they ask you what it is, you can just jam it in their
Might
Hole?
do that. It'll fit in my PS4.
yeah, you could just jam it in their USB hole and let them watch.
I
Let 'em
might do
see
that.
Let them see that new
That's an
puffy jacket you're
excellent
wearing.
plan.
Was it on sale? Tell me it was on sale.
Yeah, it was actually on clearance for $7.
Oh, really? They didn't fly off the shelves when it came out?
It was the only one there.
How many gigs is it?
2.
Just 4.
Oh,
4 gigs? What?
I thought it was only
What
going
are
to
you
be
gonna
2.
put on there? A Word document?
You could pop a 480p video on there to show
It's
your
gonna make a
friends.
pretty good video of me pounding you into the pavement.
Pounding that ass, Matt.
Right. You can't even get HD video in 4 gigs. Come on.
We'll go on fucking hobo fights or whatever it is.
Oh,
Is that still a
You get to
site?
be the hobo
yeah. You could
I
be
don't-
the next Kimbo Slice.
fighter,
He died.
whatever.
Is it too soon?
Yeah, you don't want to. Well, it's not too soon, but you don't want to be the next him. He died.
Well, you
We're
want to
all
be the next
gonna, we're all
him.
gonna die
in-
though, man. I mean,
Yeah, man.
to be fair,
In his heyday, he was punching David Blaine in the belly on TV.
it's part of the circle. Just ask Simba.
Yeah.
What happened to David Blaine?
He got punched by Kimbo Slice on TV. It was one of his magic tricks. Was that he could
Yeah,
take
but,
a
like,
punch from
what's he
Kimbo
doing?
Slice? I don't know.
Magic.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle this.
You-
Can't handle this.
asked and answered. What do you want next?
I mean, like, what's he
Yeah,
doing
man.
now? Is he working at like the Subway? Is he a sandwich artist or?
Oh, he's a
Sandwich
magician.
magician, I think it is.
He's like, there's your 6-inch.
Actually, there's some. I haven't watched it, but there's something new on Netflix.
There's
David
a lot.
Blaine, something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a Netflix
Check it out.
original.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a documentary or a movie or where he goes over secrets or what. Haven't dug that far into it because
You don't reveal the secrets of the magician, okay? I know it's
Like-
not that.
Because I could give a crap.
He would never
'Cause-
break that code.
I'm not into magic, but I just happened to see it on there.
I love magic.
Magic's
I know you do.
incredible.
We've had this discussion. You guys
Just
are.
the other day, I bought a new pack of cards.
Mhm.
Coin magic blows my mind.
Did you unwrap the cards yet to do your magic?
No, I'm waiting for the perfect moment, but I have them here.
You got to dirty
Some
them
things-
up a little bit.
Some things you
Fresh
can't just rush into. Yeah, like I don't want to just be like, oh, magic, I got these new cards. Like, it's got to be right.
Yeah, but you gotta get some dirt on them because a fresh pack of bicycles, man, those things will like slip and slide everywhere. They're hard to control.
It's a black pack and a red pack. It was 2 for the price of 1 BOGO.
Boom. Can't beat it.
Bogo.
Yeah, I scooped them up in the impulse line at Walmart.
Sounds cool.
Like right there when I'm trying to check out, and they're like,
They have
oh,
ridiculous stuff right there all the time, don't they?
Well, they had a-
it's always
had
like
a dual
huh,
pack.
I could use that. Look at that. It's a banana lighter. Huh, I can do something with that.
Yeah, I've been looking for one of those.
Cherry cola Tic Tacs. Yeah, I'll try them.
Yeah,
They're
I'm a
shit, by
sucker
the way.
for that.
Don't.
I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I'm like that. That toenail
I'm-
clipper has a built-in light.
Right. I'm the guy
That's
that
genius.
exactly. I'm the guy that aisle is built for.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
You into clipping your toenails in the dark? I can't figure it out.
You can clip them anywhere
Yeah.
with a light on the back
Light
of that
or
bit.
dark, you just doubled your capable time by 2.
What if you start clipping them in the daylight, but when you finish, it's night?
Or
Jesus
if
Christ,
you're,
how many toes do you have?
what if you're in the middle of it and the power goes out?
Bam. Power outage.
All right, that's
Brown-
good. Yeah, but if
What
it's
about a
daylight, you go
brownout?
outside. I do
Or a
it
brownout?
outside.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. So if it's daylight, it really doesn't affect me.
Because I let my nails go back into the earth.
Right. I like them to go back to the land from whence they came.
Yeah, it's all part of giving back to the earth as the earth gives to me.
All
Right.
the minerals.
All right, yeah, exactly. The minerals.
All right,
That's what
calcium
it's about.
and all that. And whatnot.
And the whatnot. So I got a bone to pick with Target.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, lay it on me.
It's got something to do with buy 2 get 1 free. It has to.
Got everything to do with buy one get one free. Or buy 2 get 1 free. So this sale, it ended yesterday. If you're listening to this on Monday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've been waiting all week to be able to get the 2 games that I wanted on the buy 2 get 1 free. They're 2 games I already own, but I haven't opened yet because I was waiting for this moment.
What
I was just
games
going to
are they?
return them if I could get them. They're Dragon Quest Builders and Farming Simulator 2017. 2 gems.
I feel like I could spoil this by saying your moment never came.
Well, I go to our local Target, and they don't have either in stock. So I'm like, great. Go online, pull up Farming Simulator 2017, add to cart. It's like, boom, this qualifies for buy 2 get 1. I'm like, perfect. Head over to the Dragon Quest Builders page, add to cart. It's like, hey, are you at least 18 years old? I'm like, of course I am. Let me have this game. It's like, just so you know, this qualifies for the buy 2 get 1 free. I'm like, excellent. Add to cart. Sorry, we're out of this.
Oh,
We don't
no.
know when we're going to get this back in. All
It's
week
not-
long,
It's
every
not
day.
funny, but yeah, it is.
Check
That
every
sucks.
day.
That sucks.
And they had Farming Simulator. Oddly enough, it was in stock all week long.
Huh.
yeah.
But,
Imagine that. How the fuck did that happen?
Hey, but I wasn't able to secure the buy 2 get 1. I was going to get Mafia for my free game. Yeah.
I hear that's a bad one. heard Mafia
Bad
is
as
no
in
good.
like good bad or bad bad.
It's reviewed very well.
I've heard bad as in like don't go get it because it's not any good.
I want to play it.
So,
I want to prove you wrong.
I've actually heard it reviewed quite well.
Not in what I've
Reviews I read.
heard, seen, and read. It seems to be doing not so great.
I mean, it's no Division, as Dan
Well,
would
what
tell
is?
you.
What is?
Or
The
Life
Division.
is Strange.
Oh, it's definitely no Life is Strange. But the Division is no Life is Strange, so.
Life is Strange
That's-
is hardly Life is Strange, so I get what you're saying. I'm there.
Did your head swell up when you got the tweet this week over at game_stitch on Twitter?
I did. I was, yeah. I was proud of myself.
It was so unnecessary.
No, it was no.
Like, we've moved on. You have grown as a person since Life is Strange came out.
Life is Strange is so good, though. It is very good.
But you finally quit talking about it, and here comes our audience, our fans, just bringing this shit right back around.
Good for them. That's because they
Can't get away
recognize
from
genius when they see it.
Right.
Right.
Last week we get a question about the division. This week we get a call out about Life is Strange. What is happening?
Hey, when you got it, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
You guys like to live in the past. You our audience. You guys just living 2 years ago. You love it.
Because Matt only plays 2 games: Metal
This
Gear
is
and
true.
World War. Fucking WWE.
World War.
I'm
I
not
don't think that's
ashamed
what
of
that stands for.
It could be World War.
I don't think that's what the
eternity,
WW means in WWE.
I'm not ashamed of that at all. I
You
like my
shouldn't
2
be, but-
games.
So I was watching some UFC on Fox Sports 1.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know why that seemed like such an advertisement, but I saw a commercial for WWE and it looked good.
It does
It's
look
really
good.
good. Yeah.
It looked good. I didn't want to play it, but it looked like a game people wanted to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see why people would enjoy it.
Mhm.
Yeah, when he jerks that ladder from underneath the ring, I was like, he's about to do something.
Right.
But then it cuts to a
Going.
clip of them fighting backstage, and I was
Shit's going down.
right.
You just
I don't think-
prop those ladders up in weird spots and throw each other through them. It's real fun.
Would it be fun for a guy who had no context though?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody can relate to smashing a grown man through a ladder for no reason other than you don't like him.
I don't
I've
know
never
what,
been in a-
because if I had no context for it, smashing them through a ladder would not be my first choice.
I've never been in a fight either.
No?
Honestly, there's no context for a lot of wrestling. It's
Even if you watch it, there's no context.
yeah, you just kind of make your own story up because sometimes they get pretty out there. That's what's fun about it.
It's
I heard, I heard the Hulk might be coming back.
Yeah, he finally got over that the alleged racial slurs.
There you go. There you go. Make
Yeah.
sure you hit that word up front.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's on. You can hear it though.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just-
it happened.
I don't
so you
know
like
if it's
it's out
quite as
there.
alleged as you make
Right.
it out to be, but
I mean,
But I
I would have
mean,
used that
okay,
also, but it is out there.
I mean, he got that money and Gawker shut down, so there's that.
He did shut down Gawker.
Yeah, he did.
And I will
That's-
say
that's
that
big.
the unfortunate thing
also-
is that Kotaku is tied to that.
didn't the Hulkster also make a sex tape with
Allegedly.
somebody,
Yeah.
some
It's
DJ's wife? No, it's out there. I've seen it.
Yeah, that
it's,
guy's a
it's all in
scrim, though.
it's all in the same round of stuff. That's the big deal.
Oh.
It was part of the
Oh, it's
sex
all-
tape.
Was it all
Yes.
together?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all part of the Gawker thing.
the sex tape's not a big deal. It's the stuff they
Oh,
got
it's
in.
a big deal, all right.
I mean it is, but it's not as big of a deal as the stuff that got him out of like 4 or 5 years of contract with WWE. That's millions of dollars out of his pocket because with them being a PG and publicly traded, they can't be seen with that. They got to cut ties immediately. So he lost millions over that.
For a guy that spent his whole life in front of the camera,
It had to be a little devastating.
well, the quality of the video wasn't very good. That's where I was going.
Well, he wasn't a cameraman the whole time.
He wasn't
the
cameraman
Hulkster.
before, but you got to, how to frame it though. You got to put yourself.
So I'll
in
be
that
honest.
light.
I'll be honest with you. When it was all said and done, after when like he got booted from the WWE, I was waiting for Thunder in Paradise 4.
Golly, I've never not been waiting for that.
3 Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain Part 2.
Oof.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one.
Suburban Commando 2.
Bingo.
No holds barred
Yeah.
again.
Oh,
Did they make another Suburban Commando?
they did, but not with the Hulk.
Not with Hulk.
Yeah.
Right. It couldn't be 2 though, because they did one.
Just like the Marine 2 and the Marine 3 don't have John Cena.
Yeah. Nah,
I've never seen any of those movies.
if you bring Suburban Commando back, it's still Suburban Commando 2 when you put Hulk Hogan back in it. And the Marine
Can we just
is,
reboot it and just call it Suburban Commando?
You can.
Yeah. And you
Not
just
with
make
Hulk, though. It's
shot
gotta
for
be with
shot the
someone
same
else.
movie.
It's got to be John Cena.
No.
'Cause
Yeah,
he's
what
the
if it was
Hulk.
John Cena and then Hulk came back in the Marine 4?
Yeah, I think there already is a Marine
No.
4.
No, they should get the Hulk for the pacifier too.
Because
Yeah, can we just talk about what the fuck was happening with Vin Diesel when he decided to do the pacifier?
Didn't that have
I
Triple
like
H
that
in it
movie.
too?
Wasn't he the bus driver?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
yeah.
that's a different movie. Different
What am I
movie.
thinking of?
There,
The Chaperone?
There's a movie where the Chaperone. Yeah, there's a movie where Triple H is the bus
It's
driver.
not the pacifier,
Yeah.
though. It's the chaperone.
There's a
None of them
duck
are
in
any good.
pacifier, and he does a dance to get in the vault.
Yes.
Those are two things I know about pacifier.
He does the dance to get in the vault, which
Mhm.
is a bedtime story of the son.
Yeah, it's like Pete the Panda or Perry Panda.
Yeah, something like that.
Peter Panda.
Peter Panda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Peter Panda.
Peter Panda.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Sounds right.
That sounds cool.
Had won an Academy Award.
That's cool.
Okay. You're making
I
shit
saw
up
Jack
now.
Reacher this past week. That's got Best Picture written all over it.
Unlikely. Highly
It's
unlikely.
real good, man.
If he could be less crazy.
Who's
T.
that?
Cruise?
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Thomas Cruise is he's
Nutso,
about as ground
though.
as it gets. Grounded
No,
as
he's
it
not.
gets.
Really? Did you ever watch him jump on the couch?
He's fucking nuts.
That was
but
like
he makes
20 years ago, man.
That was
Doesn't-
20 years ago. He makes a hell of a movie, but he's nutso.
He does make
Yeah.
some decent movies.
Yeah.
He likes to
Jack
do his
Reacher
own
1 and
stunts.
2. Man, Edge
He's
of
only like
Tomorrow
5'6".
He's like 57 years old too at this point.
Yeah,
He's
five.
like
He's been
60, I
5'6"
think.
his whole life.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Edge
Yeah,
of
good for
Tomorrow
him.
2
You
is
know-
going to come out, and I can't wait.
Just get shot in the face over and over
And,
and over
I love that movie.
and over. It was good once. I never want to see it again.
What movie was that?
Edge of Tomorrow. You didn't
Oh,
see
I
that
haven't
with
seen it.
Emily Blunt? It's based on the. There's some.
I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
You're-
You
you're
don't
All right,
have
Dan,
to
so here's
read
what
the whole
happens.
synopsis for me.
Here's
I
what
do
happens,
not need the
Dan.
synopsis.
Tom Cruise plays the
Stop.
guy.
Cut it out.
It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, except for
Meets-
he's a wimpy soldier
I
who
mean,
gets stronger each time. He doesn't want to go fight.
he doesn't get stronger each time.
He just gets
He
smarter
learns.
because he knows what's going to happen.
He learns from his mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he plays this guy.
Stop it. Just stop. Just stop. I'm going to quit. We're live. I'm going
Groundhog-
to quit.
We are live. Twitch.tv/GameStitch.
First live
Thanks for
show
being here,
ever.
guys.
Yeah.
First live show ever.
Yeah. This is the first one we've ever done. And we're totally winging it right now.
It potentially our last live
Yeah.
show too.
Yeah, that's true.
Every show is a potential for our last something.
It is. It's weird
Very
you think
true.
that every show could potentially be our last show.
Yeah.
You would hope that we knew.
Mhm.
If we could give you some heads up, but
Right. Sometimes you don't know things.
not always.
I just don't know. Before we get started, I got a few housekeeping items. A few things to clean up, if you will. If this is your first time, welcome. We're three knuckleheads. We're sharing our opinions about the video game world, the universe of gaming. And in case you haven't noticed, we're going to get wildly off topic. That's what we do.
Often.
It's mostly Dan's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You want to clear that up, Dan?
Clear what up?
It's
The fact
mostly
that
your
it's
fault.
No, it's true. That's fine.
Okay. In case you
Since I'm
didn't
the-
know.
Since I'm the oldest here, it's my job to take the brunt of that and protect my little brothers.
Right, you are old. In case you didn't know. The official Gamestitch podcast posts every Monday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, the best time in the whole world, on podcast services around the world and Gamestitch.com. So be sure to check us out. Number 2, we launched a Patreon. This has been a long time coming. We're excited about this. Supporting us on Patreon gets you access to exclusive rewards, content, and you become a bona fide badass and real-life patron of the arts. And
It's
that's
true.
cool. No worries if you can't throw us a bone or if you don't have any. This podcast is always going to be free.
Yeah, the podcast will always be free. We do have some goodies for you, obviously. You can find those all at patreon.com/GameStitch.
Forward slash.
They'll
It's
be
a
able-
forward
Forward
slash.
slash. Nothing is a backslash. Can we just clear that up?
You know what? It's the
Backslash
fucking
is for the
slash.
hacker nerds.
It's the same slash you always.
Are you talking
fucking
about?
It's not.
use.
Listen, Dan. Are
No.
you talking about the dark internet?
You see this
I'm
one?
talking about the
This
dark
one's a
net.
backslash. This
Are
one.
you talking about Skynet? right now?
This one's a forward
We
slash.
forward slash. We forward slash everything. Patreon.com/Gamestitch.
It's the fucking slash.
There are two slashes though.
There are,
Yeah.
but you know which one you fucking use. So
You
use
said,
that.
but you said back. If you'd have just said use the fucking slash, I would have
Yep.
let that slide.
Fine, I said
Backslash
that.
is the
I
one above the
misspoke.
enter key. So
It's the one you
Nobody
don't ever
uses that.
use.
yeah, that's
I do.
for when
Every
you're
time
in.
I try to type in an address.
He's like, why the fuck won't this work?
I can't get the
I'm
backslash to
backslashing like
work.
I'm supposed to be.
Exactly what they said to do.
Patreon.com/Gamestitch. Support us over there if you can. If not, that's cool too. But check it out. Tell your friends about us. Tell maybe your family. You got loved ones. Maybe let them know. We're
Anybody
going to
that
rely
you
on
know.
word of mouth to get that message out there.
Yeah.
The third thing, this episode's going to be a little different. So if you're one of our longtime listeners or you have an idea what this show is, we want to do something special for our 200th episode. It's been 4 years in the making, and we've always tried to be very transparent with our listeners. So this next hour or so is going to be a deep dive in the transparency pool. We're going to talk about where we
Sweet.
came from, maybe where we're going, what we're doing, and maybe even answer some questions if we get them. But mostly we just want to be totally clear and tell our story, and we think it'll be a fun time. So let's start at the beginning. That's a logical place, right?
yeah.
Well, before we do that, do we want to go over what we played this week, or are we not going to worry about that?
that.
I mean, I don't want to hear about the division. I'm just saying. Or maybe
I can
Life
tell
is
you-
Strange.
I didn't play anything this week. I played the game of making this live broadcast work, so I didn't game.
I played some new stuff this week. Not
Life
just
is
the
Strange
division.
is not new, Dan, just because you
Not
played it again.
not just Life is Strange,
An
and not
update
just
to the division does not make it new, nor to Destiny.
I didn't play Destiny. I don't even like
I
Destiny.
just spilled water everywhere.
I noticed. I watched you.
Can you just tell us
Idiot.
what you played so we can... You just derailed this whole podcast. It was going so well, and you
That's
felt
it,
the need to
folks.
stop it for no reason.
Told everybody
it.
up front that was going to happen.
We talked for 30 minutes. You could have talked about whatever shit game you played. And
I
then for
played
some
Alien
reason,
Isolation because I got it for $5.
like I just said,
Yeah.
you could talk about whatever shit game you played in that 30 minutes, but you waited. You waited for me to start this podcast the right way, and then you jumped in.
And
If
everyone,
everybody watching wants to berate Dan in the chat, go ahead and do it now. And
Go ahead. the best part is I probably won't give two shits. But
Yeah.
Talk all about this 3-year-old game that couldn't wait, Dan. So we
Yeah.
can start this podcast.
get it. Go ahead.
Now tell me.
I'm done.
So you're a
If
guy.
you
You're trying to avoid an alien. He keeps catching you. Scary. The controls are okay at best. What'd I leave out?
I don't know.
Don't
Should we
do
make it
this.
a policy to only read tips that are insults towards Dan?
No, I'll read any tip. I'll actually say
All right.
anything you want to for a couple bucks.
Right?
There are no
Tip
rules
us
on
at
that. If
all.
it gets-
It doesn't matter what it says.
If it gets real vulgar, I'll pass it over to Dan because he'll nail it.
Now, what if somebody
if they're
draws
only-
an ASCII penis? Would you say like 8 == D?
Yeah, but I would say most of our listeners will just be 8 = D.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. The acorn. That's what
way
they
too-
call that.
Small dicks.
Right, that first one you printed was way too long.
Right. maybe you're not as familiar as the listeners as I am, but it'll just be 8 = D.
Right.
Just a cap right on the top of that old shaft.
No shaft. It's just a cap on the balls.
No, the one equals is the shaft.
No, no equals. It's just 8D.
That's
not-
something different.
right.
Yeah, it is.
It's not the same thing.
It's different. It's new. It's exciting. Try it out.
Just for a second, just to see how it feels. You don't like
Second's
it,
all it
stop.
takes. Don't worry.
It's all it takes to get pregnant. That's a little PSA for you.
Uh-huh.
Use protection, kids. This podcast is off to a weird start. Thanks, Dan.
Oh yeah, it's all my fault. Yeah.
Yep.
You're the one that wanted
I
to go
wasn't
on and on about the division.
I wasn't going to talk about pregnancy. But then you
Oh, I
brought it
was.
up.
I was.
You brought it up talking about alien isolation.
I know. That's what happened.
Isolation. I had a hard time with that. I think the E3 that I went to is when they were like really hyping up that game.
Yeah.
It's really good. I played it for 2 hours. I haven't seen an alien yet.
When did it come out? Maybe it was Alien Colonial Marines is when I went.
It was Colonial Marines that they're
really
when you
pushing
went.
that thing.
Yeah, because
That bag of-
Isolation's been out for maybe a year.
Yeah, but you bought the
Isolation
Facehugger
is the-
edition.
What?
No, that was Alien versus Predator.
Oh yeah, Jesus
Way
Christ!
back
I don't
when.
even know. There's too many of these games.
No, I played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I've started that.
That's on my short list of things to play. I like a good walking simulator.
Yeah, which is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
But there's a whole story to tell. So, check them out. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is actually free this month. So, if you're a
For PS4
PlayStation
guys.
Plus member.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I guess I'll actually play that.
Yeah, I picked it up. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. And then some Rocket League we played again this week.
Greatest game on earth, I think, is what you meant.
That's cool. I'm ready to
No.
hear about that some more too.
You told me I couldn't talk about The Division. Or Life is Strange.
No one thinks that about the Division except for you.
That's not true.
Name one other person.
I don't think The Division is the greatest game on earth either. But I have a really good time with it, and I will not apologize for it, so fuck you guys.
I don't know why you're being so aggressive.
That's what I do.
I didn't ask you to be aggressive.
Oh, I don't care what you ask for.
I don't
What
need
is
you to
that?
be aggressive.
I don't,
Doesn't benefit me in any way when you're
But it's
aggressive.
all about your needs, isn't it? I need
Should
to
be.
be aggressive. Got all this testosterone.
Because you're a man, right?
That's right. God damn it.
Are you done? Are you
Yeah.
finished?
Yeah, I'm
You're
done.
finished. Okay. So we're gonna tell our story as best as three people who have a totally different memory of what happened can do.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. Because there's gonna be some inconsistencies here. And then someone may or may not call that person out.
Might happen. Could happen.
There's a really good chance we don't even know our own story.
That's probably actually the closest thing to the truth about all of this.
Right. So we need to rewind 4 years. And by 4 years we actually mean like 4.5 years.
Yeah, maybe even 5, honestly.
Right. Because
We had a plan.
yeah. There's been some bumps in the road also. This is 4 years worth of podcast, but not 4 years worth of what we've been doing.
True.
So I guess I'll start and then Matt, you can jump in.
Yeah, I'll just kind
And then
of
after that,
put myself
then
in
you
wherever I
jump
want
in.
to. Yeah.
Right. That's how you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get
Yeah.
in
Jump
where you
in.
fit in.
That's what I do. Just jump in. Don't ask. Just interrupt.
Wow. D-Trump.
What?
You got to grab it. I understand. So you rewind 4.5 years ago or so. I have a job, my first outside sales job where I'm in a car like all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I get tired of the radio. I'm late to the whole podcast movement, but I finally find a couple podcasts that I really love. And that's what I use to fill my time. That and calling Matt.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, I realized these conversations that we were having were just like all the podcasts I was listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Only not as good. But I was like, what if we just did a podcast? Because it's that easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Matt's answer is clearly it's that easy.
We've definitely proven that any three dingleberries can do it.
Right. So he's like, yeah, it's that easy. All we need, a couple of microphones, a good name, and a website. And
Easy peasy.
right. So we got a couple of cheap mics, and we struggled to come up with a name. And when I say struggled, I mean fucking struggled.
About 4 months, right?
Months
Oh, yeah.
of a mixture of the best and worst names you've ever heard.
Yeah.
I wish I still had the original list of names. There were some doozies on there, some real pickles, and they made it way too long before we crossed them out.
Yeah.
So
We got stuck
I've known
on birds for some reason at one point,
Dude,
and
yellow
everything
canary.
had to be like game
That was like a
canary.
Game Canary. That's what it was.
Game canary.
What a bad name. We should have used that. I like it better now.
What is
I think.
Gamestitch?
Well, a game canary, he could have been like a bird with a a controller, like
Controller
right
in his mouth.
foot. Canaries are little.
Yeah,
So
but
like,
I mean,
he
canaries.
could be holding on. He could be holding on to the
Cord.
cord.
Yeah, because
But
most of
isn't
the new controllers are corded.
Isn't the thing with
Well, at the
canaries
time,
that they're
he could
just
have got
there to
away with
let
a
you?
corded one.
Canaries are just like there to let you know that you're about to die, right? They die first so that you know to get out.
Right. So we could have been the game canaries, the ones to let you know what to play.
I think that's only in
Oh.
mines,
Great. So,
and I don't think they die first. They fly
Yeah,
towards the light so that
No,
you know
they're-
where to go to
you-
get out.
No, you keep them in a cage. You take them down there with you, and if there's like a gas leak of like carbon monoxide or something, they die first because they're so small. If your canary stops chirping or
Jesus.
dies, you know, turn around and go. Yeah, that's what they're for, dude.
I don't think that's right.
That's what
No,
canary in a coal mine
I'm not a
means.
mining expert, but I don't think that's it.
It is.
That's hardcore. It's intense.
Yeah. So we don't really want
Why-
to be the game canaries.
Why a canary? You could use any small animal.
I got hung
Yeah,
up
we
on the
tried-
canary.
A canary.
Yeah, I think we tossed around sparrow and finch and stuff like that too.
Yeah, game
see,
finch.
So your game finch was
Game
one for a
hawk.
long time. Your story starts a little bit after mine because we actually started talking about this stupid shit when we still worked for GameStop in Clarksville. We would have
I have
these
no recollection of this.
long stupid conversations about games at work, and you're like, I bet anybody would pay to listen to us do this. Like we could easily anybody would listen to this.
That was
That's
a
not talking about
conversation you had in your head.
That's not
That's
me
like-
talking about a podcast. That's my arrogance.
That's like the
Right.
inception of the podcast, and then it is true. Like after you left GameStop, then we actually started like really putting it together.
So yeah, we thought we were gonna launch this podcast with this awesome name, with these awesome microphones, and they're gonna line up to hear it.
Yeah,
And in our attempt to come up with a name, we realized the third person was going to be highly necessary, so that we didn't fold up before we started or kill each other.
right. And part of that was we really like 3HL also.
Right, 3HL local programming on the sports talk radio front.
Three guys.
It's a good dynamic with three people.
Yeah,
And we thought we could do that, but around video games. And I'd known Matt. I went to high school with Matt, so I've known him for a long time. We've always had a passion for games. And then when I was working at GameStop, I met Dan. We're very different, but very connected in our passion for games.
Yes.
And we stayed friends. Even as we switched jobs and we grew as people, I like to think we grew.
Brian did.
But yeah, that's
Did
right.
you guys
That's
hold
correct.
hands and take walks too?
Don't be jealous of our relationship.
All
Yeah.
right.
Actually, we really bonded when we talked shit about you.
Yeah, that's usually where we're getting closest. So when we decided it needed to be three people, Matt, you knew Dan also.
Yeah.
From working at GameStop with us all together, and that was the only place our mind went.
Yeah.
Is we gotta add Dan, and at the time that we added Dan, our idea was still that we were only going to do indie games.
Yes.
You remember
Yeah.
this?
I do.
Yeah,
We're only
we
gonna
wanted to be
cover
an
indie
game
games.
channel. Yeah.
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 We're gonna be Indie Stitch. Indie games. Indie Anna.
Indie
I don't know why
developers.
Stitch, it's like you just were cross stitching for like a year before then, and it's like the only word that stuck in your mind was Stitch. I still don't know where it comes from.
Lilo and Stitch is a good movie.
Because stitches are what holds fabrics together.
See, Dan gets it.
Stupid. That's like
We're
an
stitching the
explanation after
gamers
you've come
together.
up with it. Yeah.
No,
sure.
no, it's totally part of the inception. We're stitching together gamers of different cloth
Yes.
I don't like that either. That's not
to
true.
make a big, to make a
The
big
different
gamey
fabrics of
quilt.
life.
Yeah, fabrics of life. Anyways, Matt loved the name, was totally on board. We bring
Signed on
Dan
to it
in.
immediately.
We bring Dan in. We're going to do this website about indie games, and we're going to do a podcast about the site where we're doing indie games. Matt, I don't know if you remember this, but a site launches right when we're trying to do all this.
Yeah.
That's about indie games, and it's fucking good. I don't remember the name of it. It probably folded.
With that cool parallaxing background and like
Yeah, you remember.
oh man,
thing.
that site was cool.
You had
It was
to
something
pay to
about
get access.
Saturn.
Yeah, it's like Jupiter.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a better name than us.
They were like old game developers that were like trying
Yeah.
to get into journalism or something, and they were trying to like
Tell the
Oh man,
stories.
it was crazy. But it was like $7 a month to gain access to the content. So all you could do was go to their sweet ass page and scroll up and down it, which
And
was
I
still
did.
cool.
I scrolled up and I scrolled down.
Yeah,
So then we thought we can't do this. Someone just did it better than us.
Right.
right.
We have to change the focus, and we have to do a podcast similar but different to every other gaming podcast out there.
Yeah.
We had to focus on everything.
It's also important to note, I think this is when we're still talking right around when I came on.
Right. When you came on and we start to transition to an actual podcast
Right.
about all video games versus just indie games.
And at that point, we had a website that we were supposed to be extremely heavily focused on.
Well,
Yeah.
It was going to have
Right.
reviews, editorials, all that.
it was all
Well,
going
that's
to be
a little
part
bit
of this.
later than this. Yeah.
Right. Because we haven't launched yet.
Right.
But that's definitely a big component that we're talking about this whole time is this website component. Because websites, the .coms, they're big.
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago, .coms were a thing. No, they've gone away, but back then people went to them. So we knew we had to have a big .com. We knew that the name was good. We knew that people were going to show up. We just needed a site to send them to. So we nailed the idea. We're going to do a video game podcast about all video games, whatever we want to talk about. No rules. We're going to talk about some news. We're going to tell stories. We're just going to have a good time. And then, like Dan was saying, we're going to have reviews, news. He's going to write editorials. Everyone's going to write editorials. We're going to do all these things. Three guys, three bros.
None of us with journalism degrees, by the way. I would like to point out.
Right. Let me remind you.
You don't need to have a journalism degree to write.
That's true. But let me remind you, we've never done any of this, ever.
I know we've all written before.
Right, but it's not like we have a background in like game reviews or in knowing
True.
what the fuck we're doing with the podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair.
So we're starting totally fresh, dreamers, big ideas.
little bit
And
too
That's where all
ambitious, I
it
would
should be
say.
noted. That's where all good ideas. That's where all great things come from. That's where they all start.
that's true. That's true. That's not what happened here, though.
I
Not to
understand
ruin
that.
the story, not to fast forward, but that's not what happens here. So we launch. We do 3 or 4 test podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Does
And
anybody
they are
remember?
shit.
Oh man, I think they might still exist somewhere, but they are so bad you don't even understand.
Yeah.
If we
They
can
are
dig,
shit.
if we can dig those up, we'll put at least one of those up as a Patreon exclusive reward.
At some point.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
things are bad,
Yeah.
but we thought they
We
were
were bad.
really good. Like we were the other kind of bad, like the badass, like Power Glove bad. That's what we thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
we were like, there's nothing to this. Fucking simple.
All right, we're probably gonna quit our jobs next week and just podcast. That's the thought that we had.
Money's gonna come rolling in. We're gonna be
I already
able to
quit.
fund it.
Don't even worry about it. I already quit.
Already quit, dude.
You should quit too. So we do these test podcasts. We're absolutely fucking crushing it. We know it's going to be a success. We've got the name nailed. We've got the podcast down. Now we got to do the website stuff. We got to start nailing reviews. We got to start doing editorials. And we do.
Uh-huh.
And that doesn't go so well.
Well, it's not so much that personally, I've looked back on them before, and really none of the writing that we did in any of the editorials or any of those are bad. But the problem is what we tried to do was cram a full-time 40+ hour a week job into 3 hours a
Right.
week a piece.
we tried to make the next IGN.
Yeah.
3 guys. We had to have so many things going up, and we had to have this and that, and we did bring other people on board. And if those people still listen, shout out to you guys for being a part of something early.
Yeah.
And we did make good content, but we weren't in a position to do that.
No.
There was no way for us to keep it going. We were being pulled in too many different directions. Arguments started, egos started, and really at the end of the day, we weren't getting enough people to read the things we were writing for it to be worth what we were going through.
Right. And all this time is important to note that the three superstar podcasters are noticing a slight uptick every week in their podcasting, like from one listener to two listeners to three listeners.
We're building a community of ears over there over the podcast. So one thing that we were consistently doing right was this awesome podcast.
Yeah, the website.
Yeah, the website started to fail. We started to do less and less. We were starting to rely on stuff that's not. I mean, I love Skylanders, but I was writing stories about Skylanders to get clicks.
Yeah,
it's the wrong reason.
Yeah,
it was working, by the way.
We had
Randy Spotlight. Everybody read that. Got major clicks.
It was a great editorial.
Yeah, we had two other guys working on the website with us at the time. There were two other people under our employ, and they were doing good things. We had one talking about World of Warcraft. We had one talking about old Nintendo games, kind of what Gone But Not Forgotten.
We had three people write for us.
We had three people writing for us because we also had a guy who wrote about a lot of PC RTS games.
PC and real life, balancing gaming and life.
Yeah.
We had, and you can still find all this on Gamestitch.com right now. That could change at some point, but it's all still up there. You could kind of see where we came from. But we're doing the podcast. It is starting to build sort of a community. We're doing the website. We're kind of half-assing the website because we're 5, 3, 4, 2, sometimes one person trying to do everything, and we all have jobs.
Stretched too thin.
Yeah,
sure.
So the website stuff starts to go away, and then we're still doing the podcast, but then real life happens, and then the podcast starts to get off schedule. And this is like what I like to think of as our dark time.
This is our empire.
This is this is where the weak fail right here.
Right.
This is where it stops being rainbows and butterflies. Because up until this point, even though the website had kind of failed a little bit or fizzled out, we still felt like we were doing something awesome, and we still felt like we were growing a community. This is where we started to all make mistakes, and this is where the idea of doing something that you love can be taxing on you. I mean, sometimes we put a full work week in on something that doesn't make us any money, and we all have jobs and lives and people that we love in those lives and families, and so the podcast gets off schedule.
I mean, this is kind of our point where no matter what it is that you do that you love, this is the point where we realized, as everyone does with this sort of thing, anything that they enjoy or love, that's a hobby. This is where we really had to evaluate if it was still fun or if it was starting to become work for us.
Right.
I think.
Did we ever have that conversation? I don't remember ever saying.
I don't think all of us did, but I think it kind of came out in some of the 2-on-2 conversations we had. If I would talk to you, or I would talk to Matt, or you would talk to Matt, I think maybe those things kind of started to come up a little bit.
I don't
not
remember.
Not that it was never fun, but it started to be more. It was fun, but it was starting to become a job, and we were
tried to get too serious about it.
Like, I was afraid that I was going to get to the point where it wasn't fun anymore.
Right, and so maybe we got there more than I realized.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily this point in the timeline, but I mean, there was a point where, like, it got to be too not rewarding.
We're almost there, right?
Yeah, so
we're at our dark point. We're putting our podcast up late. Sometimes we're recording it late.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at the time, I don't think we really. We knew the importance of coming out on time, but we thought, hey, these people are listening to us each week. They're going to stick with us. They're going to stay. They're going to be here till the end.
No matter what.
Yeah. They ride or die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Word.
And that's not true. No. And it shouldn't be true.
Ride or die.
Right. And it shouldn't be true because, I'm a big podcast guy. I know if the podcast doesn't come out on time, you get skipped that week.
Yep.
Because I have a different podcast for Tuesday and for Wednesday and for Thursday. And if you don't show up, you just didn't show up. You lost your day.
Yeah.
Or you lost your time slot. You know, I listen to 10 or 15 hours a week of podcasts, like you're gone.
And now
Too
I'm worried I
bad.
might have to find something else for that day, so I better start looking. Because
What if
they're
that
not
something
back
else
next
is better?
Tuesday?
What if it's better?
Right.
What if that something else is better? So basically, we start missing our. I think at the time the podcast is coming out on Thursday. Does that seem right? Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, I think so.
It's coming out on Wednesday, and then I think we decided we're going to push it to Thursday because we're showing up on Thursday a lot, anyways. At this time, I think the podcast is only on iTunes and Stitcher, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 places to get the podcast.
And our
website. Yeah, you can always get it over at Gamestitch.com. Let's go check that out. So we're doing the podcast, and this is where Matt was talking about, where we all, maybe I didn't have the conversations, maybe I didn't even have the thoughts, but everybody starts thinking, is it worth it? Like, is it worth it for my time, for my energy? And I mean, we don't hear it, and we have a lot of fun, and sometimes you hear us argue, but there are actual legitimate arguments that happen behind the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
real
real
bad ones, man.
Real serious arguments.
Real
They
ones.
still happen. They still happen to this day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes, is the podcast worth that? The thing about arguments is that hopefully they are to get you to a good point after.
Right.
They're getting you somewhere.
The problem is that at one point or another, all three of us in our arguments, one of us has always felt, holy shit, did this go too far this time?
I mean, I've said stuff before, and I know it's too much, and I hit send. and I still will. Like, that's who I am.
And it's like, oh, this might be the end.
The problem is that's also who you guys are.
Right.
And so it hasn't always been smooth sailing, and real life got in the way, and Matt actually had to take some time off.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Dan had always just assumed Matt would always be there, and we didn't know how to edit the podcast. So guess what? We got even later, and we skipped weeks, and we skipped months, which is why it's more than 4 years, but this is finally 4 years of podcasting.
Yeah.
I think in total we missed 16 weeks.
Yeah.
I think is
right.
the correct number.
That sounds right.
And plenty of those other weeks were late. Sometimes we post 3 weeks at a time because we haven't posted in 3 weeks. Like, a lot went wrong. But in total, we missed 16 weeks from when we started.
You guys can't see the stream, but that stupid, dick llama just popped up because we got a new follower.
Give a follower a shout out.
Yeah.
So we got 2. We got Abel Knox and Pokey Reese have just started following the show. So thanks,
Welcome,
guys,
Abel
for
Knox
being
and
out
Pokey
there.
Reese.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And
women.
Dick llama.
So let me stop real quick. Let me pause. We got a giveaway at the end of this stream.
Yes.
So if you'll just go over to Twitter and retweet our top pinned tweet at @game_stitch. If you just retweet that, you're going to be entered for the live drawing we're going to do at the end of this podcast. So go win your. It's a prize box we're giving out. A goodie box. It's full of awesome gaming paraphernalia.
It's a gaming crate.
Yeah,
in a certain sense.
And it's all stuff from our personal collection. So make sure you head over to Twitter at @game_stitch and retweet that.
But it's important to note that we have touched it. So if you really felt you needed to, you might be able to pull our DNA off it.
Wow, Dan.
I'll be the first to say I need more me's running around.
We appreciate that, Abel Knox. Make sure you retweeted that so that you're in this drawing. We want to give this prize away tonight. If you've already retweeted it, then you're a badass. Thanks for being here. All right, back to the story. So Matt steps away. Me and Dan are like,
well, shit. What the fuck happens now?
how do you edit a podcast? So we go to the only resource on earth, YouTube. I sort of learned how to edit the podcast. We start limping along, and we start putting out podcasts. Now, what I really appreciate about us is we never had that conversation, do we stop? Do we give up? Or if we did have it, I've totally blocked it out.
Nope, we never did.
Right.
We never... Stopping was not doing it was never a thing.
Taking months off, and we just thought that the listeners were going to be there. We were going to get it all back together. Everything was going to be fine. So we start getting the podcast back out, And it turns out there's no one there anymore.
Right.
There's no one left to listen. And this starts the new ages. Where we rise from our ashes.
The Renaissance.
Yeah.
I think is what you're looking for, right?
So we're like a phoenix at this point.
Yes, rising from the ashes.
Right, rising from the ashes of the thing that we burnt down.
Right. It's important to note we set ourselves on fire first.
Right. Dan likes to joke that's a dumpster fire. So these are the ashes from the dumpster fire. And we start making podcasts again. And we do so as if we've never missed, which is a genius idea. We've never given in to the fact that we made some mistakes. We just pick up like 2.5 months later, like we didn't miss a beat.
We just go.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It was like around episode 100 or something. Does anybody remember 80 somewhere in there?
I don't know. I don't think I was here for that.
I think maybe.
No, you weren't. But when you stepped away, where was that?
Yeah, it was. I guess I stepped down around that time. Like I got out of it around that time.
Right. So, and it wasn't like he was like, fuck the podcast. He had real life going on.
Right.
A lot of changes and figuring out how he's going to pay his bills and where he was going in his life. So it's probably around, episode 80, 90, somewhere in there. And it takes us a while to figure out how to do the show with 2 people. And we're doing the show for 1 or 2 people. So our audience is as big as our host section.
Right.
And
it's like we were listening to ourselves.
Right. And we just keep going and we keep going.
Sure thing.
Right. And life settles down. Matt's able to come back and we instantly go back into the rhythm that we had for the first 80 episodes where we had an awesome audience.
Yeah, it felt really good.
Yeah.
It really did.
And so we found that rhythm again. We get the show to a point where we're happy with it. We've always struggled from that huge misstep of getting the podcast out on time and being there when our fans expected us to be there. And since that happened and since we went through that phase, we've never missed a week. We've never been late. Like we're up all the time when we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we learned a hard lesson. And there's a very few of you that have stuck through the whole time. And shout out to you guys.
Yeah, those that have, thank you.
Right. I know Elliot's been here for a long time. Lively Manus has been with us for a long time. There's a couple others I'm sure I'm leaving out. But yeah, I mean, all of those fans are awesome because we probably don't deserve to still have you at this point. We're glad you stuck around.
We have. We'll be the first to tell you mistakes were made.
Right. This might be the first time that we've actually said publicly that the mistakes were made, but we've always known it.
We were very aware, but we're also very proud people. So
Matt comes back, everything's clicking, we're rolling along. The website is strictly for the podcast. We don't have those distractions. Everybody's having fun, and that's kind of where we're at now. But we are slowly rebuilding our audience. A podcast that's been around for 4 years should have a much bigger audience than we have. And we know that a lot of that is on us because we once had a much bigger audience. And I don't think it has anything to do with our content. I think we have made big mistakes about our scheduling, big mistakes about, thinking that people were obligated to keep listening to us. But now we're moving along, and that's kind of our story. Did I leave anything out?
No. I mean, there's some not
fill in the
really.
blanks, fill in the gap.
I mean, I don't know that there really is anything. It just seems like there was a lot.
Well, that's a 4-year story in 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's very boiled down. There's a lot of good weeks. There's a lot of bad weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of really good weeks, a lot of really bad weeks. And it's hard to ever really tell the story in a way that does it justice. Because we have had some high highs and some low lows.
Low lows. Yes.
And but it's been a ride. It's been fun this whole time.
It has all been fun. Even when we've all fought and argued and I would dare I say maybe almost lost each other as friends.
Oh yeah, we've been to the brink of that. I'll 100% say that.
And I don't know if this is a saving grace for us or makes us even more despicable people, but during all that, we're always having fun. So
yeah, I mean, we've had weeks where we're at each other's throats 40 seconds before we start recording.
Oh yeah.
And we go do an awesome show where we have fun and laugh, and then go right back to not talking to each other. And
because we're fucking professionals,
right? And I would love to tell you that happened once, but it's happened a lot.
No,
it's happened a lot of different combinations of us too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're nothing if not consistent. Now that we've
right now,
that kind of brings us to where we are now, and now I think we make an awesome podcast. I think we're building a great community, and that's why we decided to finally do this Patreon thing.
We've got several new followers already just from doing this live show. So
right,
yeah. You want some shout outs?
Yeah, give me some real quick.
Some shout outs. We got Hoffen Show, longtime friend of the show, has
long time first time.
Long time first time. So he popped that llama dick thing up there.
Right, and then, llama dick.
And then Black Gray Trinity also popped that up there. And guys in the chat, I'm real sorry if you're looking at the new follows ticker. I don't know what's going on with it. It's only displaying like a certain amount of characters, so it's only showing the last person that followed plus the first part of the next person's name. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that. Yeah,
it's like this is our first live show,
but yeah, there's got to be a bug somewhere. Somebody feel free
to
try out.
Maybe we're not professionals.
Somebody feel free to try out the tips and see if we get the same issue over there. And,
yeah, try out the tips, guys.
Try out the tips. There's a cool animation and sound that goes along with that. If you're looking at the live, if you're looking at the live stream, up in the top left-hand corner, it says support on a big red banner. It's got 2 links you can follow. Either one of those should pop up in the ticker. Only the Streamlabs one will actually trigger the animation if you want your name shown to the world. So.
And I want to give a shout out to Marshall 20. He followed us right before the show.
Yeah.
So
did he?
He didn't get the llama. Yeah, he didn't get the llama dick.
He didn't get the llama.
Oh, gotcha. He's not showing on my list of followers.
I accepted the request.
Is he?
So maybe we're just friends. Maybe he's not following us. Maybe we're just friends.
We have a follower from earlier in the day that looks like spam. And if anybody out there follows our Twitter, you know all about some of the cool spam that we get.
And we love
this
spam.
Says the Twitch user is F557CE50.
Oh yeah, they're legit.
Hey,
totally
they
legit.
Can stay all day long. All day long. I just like the green dick llama popping up. So if everybody in the chat,
you guys know how to get it. Smash that follow button.
We know how much you like the dick llama.
All right, so
laugh.
Why Patreon? Why now? This isn't a sales pitch. We just want to explain why we're doing this. Hopefully you guys are familiar with Patreon. If you're not, it's just a place for you to support what we do and for us to grow what we do.
Yeah, we over the last few months, we've really taken stock, and we've noticed that we really have a lot of people who are really interested in what we have to say and are interested in this podcast, and we feel loyalty to all of our listeners. So this is a means for us to grow that and make what you guys enjoy better, so you'll enjoy it more. We want to keep you. We want you to continue telling people. And for us to do that, we do need to grow. We've got, I know we talk about it all the time, how we've got these great ideas, and we do. But now we're at a point where we don't want to be stagnant anymore. We do want to start pushing some of those ideas forward for you.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of look at it from an angle of we always want to be able to talk about what you guys are interested in. We always want to be in touch with you guys. And even though the show is always going to be free, it's always something we're going to do out of love and loyalty for you guys. It definitely, with support from you guys monetarily, that helps us to be able to get to go out and bring you new news, to go out and bring you new things to talk about, so that we don't have to talk about the division every week. So on and so forth. I mean, if there's,
I'm
there's, I mean, not only does Patreon give us a means to give back to you, and for you to give something to us, and make it a lot more of us getting to interact with you. The show becomes more about you that way. But it also gives you a way to tell us what you want to hear from us. If you get that voice, that influence over us all of a sudden. Because I think we're at a point now where we're doing the show, but it's for the guys who listen. It's for the guys and girls that listen. It's for our audience. As much as it is about us getting to sit down and talk to each other and talk about something we love, we do it because we know that you guys love it too. And whether you have the opportunity to do it yourself or not, we appreciate that you listen, and we definitely want you to be a part of it. So I think Patreon's cool, and I feel like this is a good time for us to get into it. I feel like we're finally to a point where it makes sense, and where it seems less about using Patreon to get us, like, we got ourselves off the ground. We built our listener base. This is more about now, like, really making a connection and getting an influence from our audience. I like that.
Right, and just to ease your mind, anything we raise off Patreon is going to go to making this podcast better.
Yeah, we're not. I'm not going out and buying a new car with any money that.
Let's be clear though, if it made a lot of money,
it's well.
I might
it's not going in our. It's not going in our pockets.
Right.
It's upgrades and improvements, and just that stuff.
A lot of those big ideas that Dan talked about, we don't have what's necessary to do them.
Known as revenue.
Right. We would love to go to different cons and come back and tell you guys all about them on the podcast, or maybe even do a podcast live from there. And we'd love to interact with you guys and do meet and greets and things like that. But that all costs money. And the idea behind Patreon is that we can do some of those things, and it's baby steps. We have to start somewhere. $1 a month gets you access to our Patreon feed. And it also gets us, something started to build on. And like we said before, if you can't give, that's cool too. And this is not a like a sales drive telethon. I mean, this is just us saying this is why we're doing it. We're going to grow this. We're going to make it better. We're going to add things to it, because the podcast is our only focus. We're not worried about news or reviews or writing badass editorials. We're just going to make this podcast as good as it can be.
Right.
Just this one podcast.
This one.
And because it's just this one podcast, it means we can focus all of our attention towards that podcast. And, I think that's the idea of Patreon is let's do this thing really, really well, and let's do it for the people who care, and let's let them be a part of this thing.
Yeah. And speaking of, here comes the first shout out for a tip. We got an anonymous tip. If you want to put your name on there, you absolutely can. We're going to read it out. We're going to tell you thanks. But anonymous with no name, whoever you are, thanks so much for the support. Thanks for believing in us doing what we do, and we hope we can keep doing it for you.
Keep the phones ringing.
We really need to come up with it. We need to come up with a better sound effect, because
keep those phones ringing.
Is that what that is? It sounds like money's hitting to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't hear a sound. It felt like a telethon right there, and I liked it.
You went
right.
Woo! Keep the phones ringing.
Right.
Like those lines up, guys. We got a couple lines open right now.
This is another one that's, for some reason, those tickers are giving me trouble. I'll have to figure those out before we do the next live show. But we will be reading those out, and you guys will be seeing the animations, just so you know. Right now, the donation amount's not showing. So keep
those phones ringing, guys. We got a couple lines open right now. If you get a busy signal, just keep calling back.
All right. Don't forget, Patreon's up and running right now too, and that does give you some a chance to interact with us in a different way and get some extra content from us. And
right. So we've done three to four tests leading up to this podcast, this live podcast, and those tests are actually the first thing we put as a behind the scenes look up there. So any amount of money that you give for 1 month will get you access to those videos, and they're live right now. They're not much, but it's a good peek behind the curtain at the dumpster fire.
Yeah, to see what it took to get this thing up and running to the degree that it's running right now. If you think it's a disaster now, you should have seen it 3 days ago.
Right. This is fucking magic compared to that.
Yes.
Right.
This is so high level compared to what we did 3 days ago that you can't even comprehend.
Oh,
right.
man.
I love it.
We are,
Yeah.
we are
So
definitely a trifecta of train wrecks, I'm telling you.
Right. So that's kind of our past, present, our future. Is there anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that everybody listening knows we always want to get bigger. You know, the more content that we can bring, the better. You know, if I would love to see us have the ability to go out to like an E3 and be able to do a live show from the floor there, or do a pre-recorded show from the floor, be able to do interviews with people face to face. I think that would be a great place for us to get. I don't know where that is in our future. But I mean, with the loyal listeners that we've got now, and with the support that we get now from the people that are out there, it's totally doable. It's totally doable, and I think we're a lot closer now with the people we got, backing us up out there listening every week than we were when we started, and it was just the three of us listening to each other. So it's we've come quite a long way.
The cool thing about us is that, like we just told you, we've done this once before. But unlike most places, we've done it with this very fucking podcast.
Right.
So we know what it's like to grow an audience, and we also know what it's like to lose an audience, and that's where everyone that's new benefits, because we've already made those mistakes.
Yes.
So now it's about making this stronger, bigger, faster, because we know what we're doing, we love what we're doing, and we just want to make it the best podcast we can make it for you guys.
We should
I hope
also
you guys think
note
it's super cool to see this, like, to see us from the start to here, also not coming from
Right.
another big news site, not coming from anywhere except for the ground.
And I do want to give a shout out to Gerald. He's a part of Gamestitch, even though he's not on the podcast, and he's been a part of us for a long time.
yes, he has.
So he does work for us, and I don't want it to go unsaid on here.
He is one of the unsung heroes, without
Right.
a doubt.
And Matt is the reason that you're able to watch this podcast live right now, and he's worked on that for quite a while too. So I just want to say those two things before we move on, because it's not just the talent, me and Dan, that keep this thing going.
Yeah, but without without everybody, it's nothing. If it was, if it was nobody, it would be nothing. If nobody was doing each, if everybody wasn't doing their part, everybody brings something different to the table. If we didn't have Ryan running the show, there wouldn't be any content every week. If we didn't have Dan, nobody'd be talking about the division still.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friend Garrett Wade, who just made it in the chat
You
also.
motherfuckers.
Garrett,
I'm
what's
telling
up,
you
bro?
Now, here's what I'll say about Garrett. Garrett is our most vocal fan,
Yes, he is.
and he was
He flies
late.
that flag.
And he was late.
Well, to be fair, he didn't get his notification from Twitch.
There's, you know what? There are no passes in real life, Dan.
That's not true.
We're
That
just
is
messing
so
with you,
not
buddy.
true.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, I
So,
went to bat for you, Garrett. So fuck those guys.
so this last part, a couple of people that sent me some recommendations for some rapid fire questions. And of course, if you guys have questions in the chat, you can queue those up, and we'll get to those too. If not, that's cool too. We're gonna go through a few of these, and just kind of see what these answers are. The cool thing is that we have not talked about any of this with each other. So
Yeah,
Odds
is
are
gonna
we have
be-
barely looked at these questions. So
right. So right, the way you guys read the show notes, I'm sure you haven't seen them.
Well, don't be like that.
So
fuck you.
So
I
the-
read them.
these first two, we're going to actually rank each other 1, 2, and 3. So the first question is, who games the most?
That's
1, 2, or 3.
Easily.
I'll go
Dan.
first because it's easy. Ryan 1, me 2, Matt 3.
Here's what I'll say about Dan. We're not counting the time that the PS4 is just fucking on,
okay. Well, then,
or he would
We're
win any
going-
contest.
then we're going Ryan, Dan, than me. I don't know, man. Dan plays a lot of the Division and Destiny and stuff. Dan might not play as many different games over the course of a week, But Dan puts in like hard hours on the couple of times he does play.
I would say it's really close.
Also, I'd like to. We got another tip. We got $50 from an anonymous. No name to go along with that, but thank you so much for the tip. Thank you for your
You
support.
think the
Thanks
name's
for
just not
listening.
showing up? Maybe.
No, they have an option to put it in, and if they're a Twitch user, it should automatically link their Twitch account. No matter what the case, if you do want us to read your name out, if you did make that tip, put it in the chat. We're gonna read it out. If you don't, you want it to stay anonymous. Thank you so much for your support. Really,
Yeah, if you're anonymous. Yeah, if you want to be anonymous, stay anonymous. But if we do want credit, make sure you let us know, because we don't want you to not get that chance if you did put your name in there and we didn't see it.
Yeah, we'd love to shout it out on the show for you. But thanks so much. Without the support, without you being here, we wouldn't be up to 200 with a live show. So,
By the way, anonymous, I hope you're not that anonymous.
I'd hope you are. If you are, call me.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If you are,
call you.
Do it.
I've got a couple things I need you to take care of. No big deal.
Yeah. Okay.
I know some people that I don't like that I'd like you to get to know.
2 quick things. Just take you a minute. It's no big deal.
Yeah. You could delete the division from Dan's hard drive, number 1.
All right, so I'm gonna also say me, Dan, Matt. The one thing I'm sure of though is that Matt's last.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I would say Ryan and I depends. I'd say we probably swap weeks. We're probably close. I still think he's probably got the edge over me, but Matt's dead last.
If the question was who plays a game harder, it would be you.
Yes.
Because you will fucking power through something that you want to beat.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
And I like to
also
take
go
my
out and buy
time
the merch
with
and all that stuff, dude. You go.
Yeah, you'll buy a thumb drive.
You like
You'll buy a
live in
branded
the
thumb
game.
drive, no problem. Which brings us to question number 2. Who's the biggest nerd?
Now,
Man.
I
that's
think
different.
we need a description.
Definition
I
for
think
nerd.
is nerd or geek, because I think they're different. Nerd is more like mathematical, engineering, that kind of
Nerds
stuff.
play MOBAs.
Listen, this is MOBAs are for nerds. This is the question I got back. I didn't write it. I don't know what to tell you. Just make it what you want it to be. I like to think the person who is most like lets the things they love rule who they are, and not a bad way, in like a awesome way.
No,
like
I understand what you're saying.
And like they have a division keychain on right now,
Right.
in that kind of way.
I'll go first. I'm gonna put me at the top, Dan in the middle, and you at the bottom.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna put Dan at the top, you in the middle, and me at the bottom.
This is kind of.
It's no. I don't.
It's kind of like the last question. I think again, Matt and I are pretty close. I think the difference is I think Matt is more consistent with the couple things he loves, whereas I have.
Well, you go all in on some things, though, Dan.
That's true.
Real depressing level.
Dan, you got a Batman tattoo? You got a Metal Gear tattoo? You got any of that stuff?
He bought a fucking Division flash drive.
I paid to let somebody put Batman and Metal Gear on my body.
You don't
dude.
win anything. You don't win anything, so we don't have to agree.
Right. I think Matt and I are very close. I think the difference.
Yeah.
I still think Ryan's last.
Here-
But I
here's-
think. What?
Here's what's weird. Is we all agree that I'm last.
But you
But I
play
play a
Farming
ton of
Simulator
video
every
games.
year.
Yeah, I play a ton of games, a ton of shit games, a ton of great games like Farming Simulator. I collect all video game memorabilia and video games. I have like rooms full of this stuff. I also collect Legos.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't even make I'm at the bottom of this list. If that should say something about you guys.
But you don't
'Cause
do
I'm at
that
the
thing that
bottom.
we do. Like, when me and Dan get together, we start going, dude, did you read, like, X comic book and number this?
Yeah.
Whatever happened? Did you see
Or
this
did
character?
you watch
And-
this? Or did you...
Right, and you're
this
like,
TV
I'm about to
show,
die,
This
and
movie,
me
did
and-
you see this cartoon?
Right.
I just binge watch Young Justice because
So I'm only into the things that I'm into.
Well, yeah, I
think
understand
you're
that.
into, like, tangible things. Like, you want to touch it and you don't want to talk to anybody about it. I think me and Dan are a lot more like the old school, like, the 80s style nerd where it's about finding somebody that's like you and then just talking about it until you're blue in the face. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I could find something I totally love and never speak to anyone about it and be
Right.
totally content.
Right.
Because I love it. I don't love it for you, and I don't love it for anybody else.
I don't either, but I do like to
off.
share what I love because
Yeah,
I
sometimes
want.
I don't.
I love to draw other people into my excitement.
I'll tell you why, because sometimes those people who love the things you love say dumb things. And
That's true.
Well, I understand that too, but that's people in general.
right, but you're like, I love this thing, and they're like, I love it too, and then they say something dumb, and you're like, that's not why you should love it, and it's just like I don't want to feel like somebody should like something, and so I just stay away from that conversation.
Yeah.
But not to stay too long on these rapid fire questions. But I think it's odd that I'm a giant man child and I barely made the list.
Yeah.
Because I
sorry,
would agree
bud.
with you guys that you guys are way out of control
Yeah.
with the geekdom.
I think just out of respect, Dan should probably be at the top of the list. He's been a nerd longer than I have. So I think you win on that one. You've
Seniority
seen
doesn't
more.
play into
Like,
it.
So
Yeah,
not
but
only
Dan-
did you just let me win, but you also decided you would knock me down a couple pegs by calling me old. Appreciate that.
That's fine,
here's
Matt.
the-
He won't remember
Well
he
done.
won tomorrow.
Like
Well
Dan
done.
remembers Ghostbusters 1 coming out and like went and loved it. Like I didn't see Ghostbusters 1 till Ghostbusters 2 was coming out. Like that's a thing. So
But he won't remember that he won tomorrow.
yeah, that's true.
So you can take
I
the
can
prize.
take it back.
All right,
You know what?
next-
Bullshit, because I'm fucking recording this whole thing on my flash drive.
Oh shit,
man.
We could just go 20 more minutes. It'll be full. Because it's only 4 gigs. So these next ones we're not ranking. We're just talking about our personal favorites. Favorite game. This is a bullshit question that we really can't answer, but we'll all give it a try.
I can answer it for yeah.
There is one game to rule them all for you.
Yep.
I can't put myself in that box, but go ahead.
Are we each answering this for each other, or are we just answering for the other people?
No, we'll answer for ourselves.
Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation 1.
Dan?
Mass Effect.
Yeah. Life is Strange. Division.
Nah, it's
Mass
Mass
Effect
Not
2?
with the vis-
Mass Effect
It's either
3?
Mass Effect or Life is Strange. I think I got to go with Life is Strange. Life is Strange was just affected me in
Whoa.
just such a good way. That's an experience I'm never gonna forget. Life
Super
is
Mario
Strange.
Brothers 3 is coming.
Yep.
Fuck you. So, Mario Brothers 3.
Yep.
Because the game changed everything. That's all I need to
It
say.
did. We
Um,
answer
we've-
that
we've
question
done-
at least twice a year.
Yeah, we've done a lot of these questions and we get it a lot, and it's cool. And if you go back and listen, our answers are probably different sometimes, because it really just depends on the day. Because I could easily go Little Big Planet, Mod Nation. I mean, there are plenty of things I could throw at Rocket League. There are
If you were
plenty
to
of things
throw
I
in-
could throw in.
Change it to universe. It's Mass Effect.
Right.
Rather than just game.
So next question: favorite console. I think this is going to be interesting.
Oh.
Let's start with Dan this time.
My favorite console would be the original NES. Because that's part of it's nostalgia, but that's the one. Yeah, I had an Atari. I had the old wooden Pong machine. That's how my video game started. And then I got the Atari. But the NES came out. It was a brand new day, man. It was the dawn.
A whole new world.
Yeah. A whole new world.
That's where I was going with it.
I knew where you were going with it. I love it.
Matt, are you ready to answer this question?
Yeah. This is a weird one for me. It's the Nintendo 64. And I don't know why. That console, I know it wasn't a huge part of my life, but I just remember, like, that was the console that I remember having the biggest, I guess, like, that was middle school into high school that we were playing that thing. And it was one of those consoles that it just stuck. When it hit, it stuck. It came out at the right time. The games were good, Made sense. I liked it.
Right.
I'm going to say the PlayStation.
The original.
No.
No?
It's between the 2 and the 3. That's a tough one.
It's really hard between those two. So
I'd say
the two was I was a young man. My body was changing. I was trying to figure out this big beautiful world that we lived in. And that system kept me calm.
Yeah.
And I have some brilliant memories on it. But the PlayStation 3 is when I realized that, like, what gaming could be in the way that I played with other people and the way I interacted. I mean, I played PS2 online, but it was not, PS3 took it somewhere new for me. And and some of, I love all the classic games, but I am in the camp that games get better. Games are better every year for every console than they were. I love old games. I always will, but they make really awesome games now.
Yeah.
And I think it's the best time to be playing games right now. I'm going to say PS2, though. And not the small flip top one, the fatty with a disc tray that came out.
The original that you wanted to stand up vertical.
Right. That I screwed the hard drive in the back.
Right.
I'm going to say that one. The one I played SOCOM on for hours and hours and hours. With that SOCOM fucking headset that came with it.
Yeah.
Right?
God, the thing was good.
Was it good? It looks like a piece of coat hanger bent around your head.
It was so good. I still have it. Not that that just comes as a shock to anybody.
It's a different kind of good.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll take a break on these questions real quick, guys. If you're in here and you're listening and you have not hit us up on Twitter, make sure you go over at @game_stitch and retweet that top pinned tweet. That's our giveaway for this episode right here. At the end of this podcast, we're going to actually give it away. It's a prize box full of goodies. All you have to do is retweet that. If you would like to give us a follow while you're over there, that'd be fucking cool too. If not, that's okay. Make sure you retweet that. We're going to give it away in the next 30 minutes probably. Next question. Favorite controller?
Oh.
I'll go first this time because I haven't yet. And DualShock 4.
Fuck that.
I love this controller.
Yeah, I'm gonna say DualShock 4.
Okay, Matt.
This is a tough one for me because I have two, and I don't know which way to answer.
We only get one.
The Xbox One controller is
It's a good
hands
controller.
down hands
So-
down the most comfortable thing I've ever held.
I'll tell you what I like is that we didn't let our nostalgia get in the way of that question.
No.
Yeah.
Because I don't care who you are. You think the NES controller was fucking great, go hold one for
You're
4
fucking
You're
hours
out of your
now.
fucking mind.
Right.
Those
Go
little
hold one
points
for,
in your hand.
right. Or I mean, the GameCube was a great controller then.
Right. Remember
There have been lots of cool
NES
controllers.
The fucking corners, man. Who
Yeah,
did that?
dig into them palms.
Even the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, you get your hands like cramped like
Hurt.
this, and like you hold your hands out and they just cramp back together. You get hamburger
Now
hands.
the dog bone NES controller was a good one. It felt good.
Not the Super
Felt
Nintendo,
right.
but the dog bone NES.
The dog bone NES, yeah, it felt
Yeah.
good. But yeah, I think you're being a little shady if you try to say these old controllers are your favorite.
Yeah,
Because what
no.
we have now is a fucking luxury car compared to that stuff.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
it's fucking space exploration.
It's
fucking-
Splice, exactly.
Splice, yeah.
Splice. So these next two questions aren't video game related, or maybe they are. Our favorite podcast.
Who's going?
I don't care.
All right.
Dan,
I've
you go
got-
because you got an answer ready.
Do I have to go one or because I actually have two?
Yeah, well, it's favorite podcast.
Favorite podcast.
Cast.
That sounds like you're saying it with an S on the end.
I only
Podcast.
got to say one controller. You only get one podcast.
Okay, that's fair. I would have to say, fuck. I've got to. I got to go with Junk Food Cinema. Just because my other one that I was going to say was Quiver, the Green Arrow podcast,
Hey, you don't
But-
get to do two by not saying
but-
the other one.
but Junk Food Cinema.
Cut that shit out.
I see what you're doing.
But Junk Food Cinema is a B movie podcast. So you
What
can
the-
find it over
What
on
is
Film School
happening
Reject.
right now?
And it's fucking amazing.
Chat, can you please
So,
cut
yeah.
Dan down? Jesus.
Matt, go ahead.
The Game Over Greggy show. Over at Kind of Funny. Yeah, if you don't listen to Kind of Funny, I don't know who you are. You must not listen to podcasts. But the Game Over Greggy show specifically, it's
I
not
wonder
about
when
games.
Matt was going to make a Matt statement.
Like, it just that I like that podcast because it's video game guys that you hear them talk about video games all the time, talking about everything but video games on that show. I've never cried so hard in my entire life than when Greg Miller told his story of the little boy that he knew, who passed away from cancer, and just it's kind of like
Yeah, it sounds like a very uplifting podcast, Matt. Thanks.
It's not about that. It's about
I
yeah,
know.
you get to know like the guys that you listen to beyond just their opinions on video games. You get to learn about who they are. I like that. I like shows like that. So, what about you?
I'm going to say startup, but this is a very tough question for me because I don't have two. I have like 50 that I love,
I know.
Yeah.
and this is a real fuck you question. Thanks for that, because it's hard to just say everything Gimlet makes is awesome. Like Matt said, all the kind of funny stuff is good. All of Giant Bomb stuff is good. Season 1 of Serial is unreal.
Yeah.
Like there are so many good podcasts out there. Up and Vanish is a new one that's out that's awesome. Lore is awesome. There's so many good podcasts, and if you're not listening to podcasts, it's weird that you're on this one. But you should definitely listen to
No
more than
offense.
just video game podcasts.
If we're the
Right,
only
none
podcast
taken.
you listen to, by God, that's the coolest thing I've heard all night.
Right. But there are tons of really awesome podcasts out there, and I say step outside of your box when you're looking for something new to listen to.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan has a really good podcast. I mean, there are a lot of good podcasts out there.
Browse is
Step-
your
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, step out of your comfort zone and find something fucking weird and give it a chance, because there's so many good ones out there. I think we're at our last question, which is the strangest thing people don't know about you. And they'll probably if you've been listening since episode 1, you might get some repeat here because sometimes we talk about how weird we are. And Matt's might be in the chat from earlier.
Really?
But I want to see it. I want to see if he picks it.
Oh, I haven't been reading the chat.
Good. Don't. I just want to see if you nail down what somebody put in here because they're right.
About the strangest thing about me?
Yeah.
Like as a person or like something that I
Yeah.
So it's something that
you,
it's something that you can actively hear on the podcast.
No, they were told this.
Yeah.
That's something weird about me?
Oh yeah. So while we're waiting for that, I'll go ahead and go with mine. I brush my teeth exclusively in the shower.
Hey, that's efficient, dude. That's not strange.
It's badass to spit in the floor or wherever you want. You're grown, do what you want.
Yeah.
So I squirt the toothpaste in my mouth. I take a mouthful of it, and then I get in the shower where my toothbrush lives, and then I brush.
Right?
So I shower every morning. I brush my teeth there. Now, like at night or something, I don't have to be in the shower, but the morning brushing is done exclusively in the shower. Dan, you have one ready while Matt tries to figure out this person and what they know about him?
The strangest thing about me is that no one knows. Probably that when I have lunch, when I have like a sandwich, I have certain soups that go with certain sandwiches. I have certain chips that go with certain sandwiches. If I don't have one or the other, I won't. If I won't eat one, if I don't have one or the other, I won't eat the sandwich.
What if you just have the wrong one?
Then it doesn't. Then it gets thrown away. It gets thrown away. If I have peanut butter and jelly, I have to have barbecue chips. If I don't have barbecue chips, if I have some other kind of chip, I don't eat it. If I have tuna fish, I have to have salt and vinegar, so on and so forth.
You're gross. You're gross. All right, Matt, time's up.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I make my strange things pretty public. Like I speak about them.
Well, just tell about one of them. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I mean, not everybody that's in this chat or in this podcast right now has heard all of them. Just pick one.
I will not eat or drink after anyone. It could not even my fiance.
That's not the one that was submitted.
Also, will
I
not
don't
eat
know
at
that that's
buffets.
incredibly strange.
I also. Oh, is it the shark thing? Is it the
Nope.
shark phobia? That's pretty well
No.
known. I don't know. I don't have a strange one.
Just real quick, I'll eat and drink after anybody.
Yeah, it's real gross. So you're gonna get herpes.
I'll eat and drink after anyone. If you're
Well,
listening,
here's
you want me to
another
eat or drink after you, let me.
I'm
Not
real
eat, but
particular
a
about
drink.
my food. So, like, I actually have, like, plastic plates that were bought specially for me to have the squares so none of my food touches.
Yeah, well, I don't like my
I
food
like
to
that.
touch either.
Yeah. I just
That's
don't like
not
anybody
weird.
being
That's
able to
normal.
touch my food.
Okay. That's normal? Okay.
So the poop shower thing
Yeah.
was submitted in the chat earlier.
Yes. You
The
have
poop
to shower after every time you take a poop.
Is
Right.
that weird? Is that weird?
Yeah,
That's incredibly
Yeah.
weird.
that's
Yeah, like-
the weirdest thing that's been said.
Yeah, I have to poop immediately after I take, or I have to take a shower immediately after I poop. And if I take a shower and then poop, I have to get back in there. So, just fun fact for everybody that's
Just poop in the
listening
shower,
live
fuck
and for you guys, bidets are like super cheap, like the self-install on the toilet bidets. So I'm getting one of those.
Yeah, you're
Getting
a
a
creeper.
bidet. I want a bidet
I wanna-
so bad. It's about to happen.
I want to give a shout out to Garrett Wade's wife for listening.
Did she pop that
She's a
fact
new
out?
listener. No, he just told us for listening. I want to change the subject as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Garrett, I just asked that you give her some context.
right.
No context.
Or I'll tell you what though, I'm looking super normal. Just brushing my teeth in the shower. There's
Right, but
nothing
it's-
weird
No,
about
that's
me.
weird. No, it's weird.
It's not. That's fine.
Hey, so
weird.
I listened to the Giant Bombcast, and they were talking about just having like a drink while you're in the shower, like
a
just
shower
taking
beer?
No.
yeah, or anything,
Yeah.
just a cold drink with you in the shower.
I mean, I have, but it's
So I gave it a try. It's fucking weird.
Like I've had a
sometimes I
shower
with
beer
the,
before.
sometimes I shower with the lights off though, like in the dark.
That's weird. How do
Oh,
you
I do
see?
too.
We don't need to see.
Sometimes I turn on the shower and I pull the plug and I lay down in the water.
I've had to lay down in the shower, but I feel like I'm in a real low point when I do that. Like something has happened to me where I felt the need that I couldn't even stand anymore, and I've had to lay down. And I don't have like my shower and my tub are separate. So if I'm laying down in the shower, I'm just laying there in nothing.
Like on the floor.
That's actually my hangover cure. So I probably should be dead at this point because I will lay in the shower, but I will turn it on ice cold
Ooh, no.
and pull the plug and fall asleep.
If you threw like a pot in my shower, you could make a stew while I was in there. Like it's boiling hot. All the time.
Like you come out looking like you got slapped.
Yeah.
Like your whole body
Dude,
looks like somebody's just been slapping you.
It is so hot, and I stay in until I run the water out pretty much every time.
Yeah. I do
It's
like
great.
a good hot shower like that too.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Baths are gross.
So
I
the-
don't like to take baths. I'm really trying to think of more strange things. That can't be the strangest thing about me.
I like a bath every now and then.
So do I.
Light a few candles, throw some bubbles in.
Sit in that butt water.
Lady and some Barry White.
A lot of times I get in the shower right after I take a bath.
I
Really?
get that.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Because I do get a little weird about what I'm laying in. Because I know where I've
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
So I do like to shower.
Right, which is why I don't have a problem with it because it's my own filth, so it's fine.
Doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it better. It's
fine.
still
Right.
bad.
Right.
You take a shower after you shit, Matt, so shut the fuck
Yeah, I'm
up.
clean. I'm fucking
That's a
clean, dude.
hyper inconvenient though.
You get
like
eat off that
overly
asshole. Like I'm clean, dude.
That means you
That's-
get public poop though, and that's
Well,
a
that's
time
great.
saver.
So if you,
Yeah.
I guess if you're ever getting rimmed, good for them.
I've definitely pooped in public before. If you ever see me out in public, I carry a red backpack with me, and it's got baby wipes in it, so I can poop in public.
You're such a fucking weirdo. What's going on, Mr. Gacy? Jesus Christ.
I just don't like poop, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
I like walking around in my own filth all day with my itchy butthole.
Yeah, and so just to recap, bath is fine. Someone called it nasty in the chat. I'm not even going to give it a shout out
It's
because
nasty.
there's nothing wrong with a bath.
No, chat, you're right. Bath is nasty. Your butt goes in first, and you just hang out in your butt water.
Hey, if the bath is nasty, you're doing it right. I just want to throw
Right.
that out there.
That's right.
You know, Dan knows what I'm talking about.
God damn right.
So that's all the questions we had. Thanks for everybody who submitted those. If you have any, last chance to get those in. Last chance for the retweet. Make sure you go over to Twitter @game_Stitch. Make sure you retweet the top pinned tweet. We're going to give that away next 5 minutes.
Come on,
Next.
chat.
5 minutes. Get your questions in. If not, we're going to talk about how awesome our new Patreon is. Patreon.com/GameStitch. That's not a backslash unless you're Dan.
It's a forward slash. I fucked up earlier. I'm sick of listening to these motherfuckers.
Hey, just make it right. That's all we ask.
Yeah, it's a /.
Jesus Christ.
You don't have to give, but if you can donate anything over there, it's going to help to make this show better. If not, that's cool. This podcast will always be free. Matt, we have any followers? Has anybody smashed the green dick llama button?
Absolutely.
No, we would have. I would have been laughing.
If you're
chuckling,
not following us, make sure that you click the button right now because I like the thing that runs out.
And if
That
you're
little
following
llama
us now, but you're not following us on Twitter, make sure that you go follow us on Twitter because if we're ever going to go live, we're going to let you know over there. Also, I do want to see that. Actually, here, I got to get away. We can see it. I'll just repeat the last follower.
Right, yeah, do that so we can get this thing to jump out and people can see what they're missing.
There it is. It's just hopping. It's smiling so big. I wonder what
if
it's
you already
running
follow us, you can't get it to pop out.
Right.
It just falls out it pops out every time we get a new follower. So if
So
you're
tell
already
your friends to
following us,
come
thank
follow.
you. Right, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your in-laws, tell all those people. As long as they're not
Grandparents,
squares.
neighbors.
As long as they're not stuck up squares, they won't like this podcast.
You get pulled over by the police, let them know.
Stuck up squares.
Squares?
Yeah,
Wow.
squares. Talk about squares.
1948 again.
Holy
Right.
shit.
So
You have a drag race and the hot rod too, Fonzie?
how do you have more of a problem? How is that more of a problem than what you just said? That if you get pulled over, tell the police.
About
How
the
is mono
podcast.
worse side? Yeah. Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? The official Game Stitch podcast. Check it out Monday, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time on podcast services around the world.
That's right.
That's the
Don't
best
forget
way
to
to get.
follow him on Twitch so we can see the green dick llama come out, Mr. Officer.
Yeah, the green dick llama. Let's see. Abel Knox says, "Loving my PS4 Pro."
Ooh.
All right,
Did you get yours yet?
moneybags.
No, I didn't get mine because I didn't think it was out yet.
I thought it came out.
Came
The
out
10th?
Friday, didn't it?
I thought it came
I
out
thought
the
it came out-
10th.
I thought it came out next Friday, like this coming Friday. It's the 6th right now, so I assumed it was the end of this week, but maybe we're wrong. Maybe somebody's got the hookup at that G-Stop.
Dude, if you have a hookup and you're just now telling us,
Right. Let us know, dude.
maybe it's just out.
I don't know if I've seen it in ads or if I actually saw it today.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I
Sorry,
looked
just-
through like the Sunday
Did they
ads,
fall
but
off
I
the back
also
of a truck? What happened? How'd you get that?
He said Friday they sold them here. I don't know. I haven't picked mine up yet, but I'm excited to hear that you love them because,
because you're getting ready to love it too.
right.
You gonna go love yours tomorrow?
Now, here's the question for you guys.
Okay.
Enjoy my tea bag says, my wife says, quote, tell them I'm really enjoying the podcast. End quote.
Thanks.
Now,
Yeah.
is that
appreciate
sarcasm?
that. No, not at all. I think that's for real. And if it is sarcasm, I'm not gonna take it that way.
Is it like when someone says, I really love that thing that you love?
Right.
Um,
Nah.
See,
You
now
know-
Dan's on the fence. Now Dan doesn't know either.
yeah, it could be, but I don't think so. Because I think if it was, he would have thrown like an LOL or a haha in there or something.
Right.
But
Or-
it seems to be a fairly straightforward statement.
Right. Hey, Matt, can you pop the green dick llama? Garrett wants to screenshot that.
You bet I can.
All right, so that's on its way for you. But you're going to have to, there's a delay, so.
I popped it with his name on it. I love that thing.
Also, we got she genuinely asked me on her own to
Yep.
tell you. See, so she liked it. Yeah. Black
Well,
Gray
thank you.
Trinity says, "Is
Thank
your
you,
wife a
Mrs.
mom?
Teabag.
Enjoy. Moms are our main demographic. That's true for only Dan.
Fucking what's? Why am I even on this podcast? What are you guys doing to me tonight?
You're deflecting
suck
right now
so
because we just real true. A lot of truth.
I don't mind.
Hoffman Show says Matt's a hipster. That's correct.
That's not true.
That's correct.
There's a reason he didn't say it during his strangest things about me, because everybody fucking knows.
Whatever,
It's
man.
things people don't know. Jeez. Skinny. He's got skinny jeans on right now. You can't see him. He's vaping.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing a beanie even though it's 100 degrees.
Vaping.
Yeah.
Those look like
He's wearing
skinny jeans to
one of
you,
those
bro?
short sleeve button ups with a bow tie.
Right. He's
Little skinny
vaping
jeans right
nonstop.
there.
He's cloud chasing.
Skinny jeans.
Wearing his airwalks.
All right, I'm gonna call it on the retweets. I'm gonna call it right now. So you guys chat
Time
a
to
little
do
bit,
that
and I'm about to
giveaway?
get us the winner.
All right.
Yeah. Here comes that giveaway.
Money, money, money. No, actually, no
Maybe
money.
hey, you want to
What?
You want to do? So we're doing this big giveaway. This is the big episode 200 like big
Monster
box
crate.
of fun stuff giveaway. Yeah. What
Monster
about
Gamestitch
doing-
crate.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Doing what?
Let's see who wins it, and then maybe we can do another one that's just for people in the chat. If somebody in the chat didn't win this one, what do you think about that? Anybody?
Oh, like a special.
Like a
like
second
just
giveaway.
for the show. Yeah, like a second giveaway just for the people who made it to the chat
Like
to this show.
just for the people who decided to
Like-
jump in.
Like there was one giveaway, but now there's a second.
Right.
If the person that wins the big one isn't already in the chat.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. That way somebody who's here supporting, showing their love, chatting it up with
The only
us. they
thing
get
is,
something too.
if Garrett gets it, he has to give it to his wife.
Oh yeah,
Deal.
she'll really enjoy that.
Deal.
It's like this podcast.
Man, will you speak for her now?
I know. What the hell? Jesus.
Come on, she called baths nasty, and I haven't forgiven her.
Would you get like the most complicated random number generator you can find?
Oh,
No.
you could have done it, Matt. Just saying.
Well, there
Yeah, I could
are
have.
a few. So there are a few retweets that I had to remove.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So after that, the winner is Luis Morales at Luis Morales _CO.
Big Lou.
Congratulations, Big Lou.
Make sure you
Louis!
contact us on Twitter, send us a DM, or we'll send you a DM. We got to get that address and get that package out to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Full of
So I don't
free
know, Luis.
stuff.
And there's a good chance that Luis just does like these things.
Just comes by and retweets contests.
Yeah. Looking at Lewis's Twitter feed, retweet for a chance to win, retweet to win.
Was that one of those
Is it a bot?
spams that would speak of?
Giveaway. It doesn't look like it, but I'm going to do it again. Lewis, are you in the chat? I'm going to give Lewis about 30 seconds in the chat.
30 seconds.
Let me know
No,
if
he's
he's
not a
if
bot.
he's yeah,
Don't forget you're on a delay to them by about a minute. So
right. Well, we're waiting. We're going to give him 30 seconds, so if it's by a minute, he's super fucked.
That's right. That's 30 seconds our time.
you don't trust it, huh? Sorry, Lewis.
But here's the thing, Lewis is only like that's all that's on his thing.
So he's
So
probably
clearly-
not
it's
an
clearly
actual.
a retweet bot. Yeah,
Right.
that's fair. That's fair.
All right. It's time.
All right.
It's done. 30 seconds are up.
Let's see who we
That
got
was the
this
drum
time.
roll, not a cat purring.
Sound like a cat purring, but it's fine.
Yeah, I know.
But hey,
I know.
So the winner this time is Lively Mantis.
Lively Mantis.
At- Lively Mantis, who has been a listener since the very beginning.
very, very beginning.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool. Sorry, Luis Morales. if you were a real person, but you only enter contests, and I don't like that about you. So if you're really that dedicated to winning, you would listen to this podcast, and you
That's
can
true.
email me,
That's true. I
and we
agree
can
with that.
talk, and
Yeah, we'll make
maybe
it
we
right
can
if
still
you're
send you
real.
something. Yeah, maybe we'll still send you something.
I feel like the fact that
Yeah.
you just want to win contests is a serious personality flaw on your part, and you really need to reevaluate yourself.
Maybe he's like that guy from the movie Real Genius that just sits in the cubbyhole in the dorms and submits the no purchase necessary tickets.
Such a
just
good
on,
movie.
Just on the
Why did you
probability
do
that he's
that?
going to win like
Hold on.
80% of them.
Hold on, I wanna,
Hold on. What are you doing?
There's a message I want to read in the chat from Truffles. It says, "Hi, I'm Enjoy's wife."
As opposed to
No,
Mrs.
that's his.
Teabag?
Right, she's in the chat. That's what I'm saying.
Pop that
I know.
follow button. Let's see that dick
Right,
llama
so
go.
she can hit the
That's
dick
right.
llama and get it out. That's what I'm
Dick
saying.
llama.
Hit
right.
follow. Do it.
Dick
Green dick
llama.
llama.
We've got opportunity right now.
Now, I guess, so does she prefer Truffles or Enjoy's wife or Mrs. Teabag or Mrs. Garrett?
Probably not Mrs.
Wade?
Teabag.
Truffles.
Well, that would have been my guess too, but I wanted to be sure. I
But
mean,
she's got a real chance to get this llama out there.
Yeah, let's get the
yeah.
llama out.
Yeah.
Now, what if we call the llama Truffles? Truffles the dick llama. That's what
That
we
would
call
be
it. I
a,
like that name.
That would be a real honor to get it named after you.
Yeah.
I like the name for the dick
Would
llama.
be. Of course, I feel like she might be happier with Mrs. Teabag, but
Also,
Yeah, Truffles. The dick llama. There it is.
you guys are awesome. So
Love
let's
you
give
guys.
away something else to somebody that's in the chat.
Yeah,
How do you want to do it?
you just randomly. Or
It's always
Well,
random.
yeah,
right.
I don't know a good way to do it. We could just
Here's the thing: if you're in the chat and you want to be entered, just type a 1, hit enter, and when this catches up and we see the ones pop, we're gonna give it away to one of those people.
Yeah.
that'll be fun. That seems fair. You're gonna
That's an excellent
randomly
plan.
select the
Hoffman
person
Show
who does the ones. Or
Hoffman Show, you cannot enter.
Yeah. Hoffman Show,
So
you
you
can
guys-
never enter. Sorry.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I'm not gonna be in the chat, so when we get these ones, however many it is, just tell me how many. I'm gonna generate a winner, and just whoever what that number was gets it. In the order that they put their ones up.
So they're ordered. So if they put one in first
They're one.
and you draw one, they're number one. I get you.
They win.
Got it.
Okay.
Are you seeing some?
I'm seeing some. Are you ready?
Yeah, how many is
Just
it?
wait.
Okay.
Wait till it
So
ends.
what?
Just make sure everybody gets a one in there.
And don't count Gerald. Don't count him.
No, Gerald.
Well, because he works for the podcast.
Yeah, he can't win.
Yeah. No
That's
employees, man. It's like I could win all the contest items right now if I wanted to.
Right. He doesn't win.
Be honest, I think I already have some of them.
Right. I've got a whole room full of the contest items.
I've got all of it. Right.
All right. I think it's been a good little bit. It looks like we've only got 3.
Okay, 3.
Looks like. Do you need to know names?
No, I don't care who
Not
they
yet.
are. It'd be more random
Okay.
if I don't know.
Okay.
My guess is that Garrett's got a good chance at winning this.
Yeah, there's 3.
Number 1.
Number 1, that'd be Garrett.
There you go.
All right, Garrett.
That'd be Garrett.
Make sure you get a hold of us. DM us on Twitter and your address so that we can send a little package to you too. So thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
No, you
I feel
don't
like
have to
this-
give it to your wife unless you want to be a good husband.
Right, unless you really care about her. It's up
Right.
to you though.
Right.
Either way is fine.
Right.
Make sure you follow us on the social medias at game_stitch. I am at podcast Ryan. Dan is at shirtless Dan. My bad.
You almost did it again,
I
my
had a
friend.
flashback. He is at shirtless Dan, and Matt is at goddamn it Matt. Hoffman Show is at Hoffman Show. So if you're in the
Okay.
chat, you can see how screwed up he spells it, and you can go find him right now. Remember, you can always find us on Twitch when we do these live shows. We're going to try to do more of them. Twitch.tv/Gamestitch. Make sure you follow us on there so you know every time we go live. So that's a cool thing you can do. And we just launched our Patreon, so check us out, patreon.com/Gamestitch over there. Remember, you don't have to donate, but if you do, that makes you awesome. Anything you guys want to add?
No, they're
Thank you
awesome
to
anyway.
everybody.
They'll be awesomer.
Yeah, they'd be
thank
more
you to
awesome.
everybody who came out. Thank you for coming to our first live show. Thanks for being here for 200 episodes. Thank you so much for everybody that came and participated. I hope we can do this again soon. Doing it live is real fun.
Right. So I have this note at the end, and it does say thank you to our fans, friends, and family. Without you, the last 4 years and 200 episodes wouldn't be possible, and that's 100% true.
Yes, it is.
So I know that we have friends and family in the chat also. So thank you guys for being here, because you do make all this possible. Is that it? Everybody got their...
Yeah.
All right, this has been episode 200 of the official Gamestitch podcast.
Thanks again, all.
Good night.
We love you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good nights.
You're stupid.
You're stupid.
We are
Stupid.
both stupid.
Whatever, man.
Twitch still going?
Yeah, it's still good. Just playing the outro music. They can still hear us talking.
So can I ruin it if I talk over it?
No, it's fine. If they listen to this one.
Did you tell me not to talk?
No,
Not
we
during
didn't
the
hold-
outro. The outro is for us. It's fine. The outro
hold
is
the
for stuff
finger
like
up.
this. It's cool.
If you held your finger up, I wouldn't talk, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
This isn't my fault.
It's fine. It's fine. This will be the fun stuff that the people who listen to the show tomorrow don't get to hear.
You're not going to get to make this my fault, 'cause you didn't put your finger up. I didn't know.
It's good. You're fine.
Are we out of it?
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, we're out.